Babbies. Tiny chin. Hello and welcome to the Babbles Travelling Yarns podcast. You are watching me. My name's Grace. I always put in a UR at the start there and I'm like, I don't know where to go from here. That was a really silly thing to say, but let's just go with it. No. So my name's Grace and you can find me on all the internets as Vanawillemiel and Babbles Yarns. I am a constantly curious person and I love all the fibre arts. I am a knitter, a spinner, a weaver, a dyer and an organizer. I'm an events organizer. I realise that now. That's what I am. And yeah, so you're watching the podcast and you're watching it on YouTube, I guess, perhaps. Maybe Ravelry if I'm smart enough to put it on there, maybe later. And welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's really lovely to have you here. I am an Irish girl living in Ireland. I live in Limerick, which is my hometown. And you are currently in my craft room. Isn't it pretty? So full of things, fluffy things. So many nice things. I'm so happy to be surrounded by all this stuff. Ugh. I spent over a year traveling around with nothing but what was in my backpack, which was a long time without things, and now I have things and I'm starting to get too many things, and it's a little bit antsy but also lovely because I enjoy all my things, but I love them all. Everything has a story. I'm addicted to storytelling, and yeah, if you tell me a story, I'm a sucker. I'll just give you my money. That's the way it is. Soz. That's true. So I've got a jam-packed show today. It is Saturday the 14th of July and I've just come back from a natural dyeing workshop which is being run by Sandra King, who is Meet the Wool. She has a studio in East Clare and it is gorgeous. So I've just spent the day there and I'm going back tomorrow. We've been mordanting our wool and we have been collecting natural flowers and natural plants, and that is soaking overnight, and we're going back tomorrow and we're going to do all the dyeing. I'm going to do a completely separate video all about that. I've been taking loads of footage. It's a beautiful place that she has, and she has cute doggies and sheeps. She has her own sheepies. Oh, they're so cute. She's got two Wensleydales, a Wensleydale Shetland Cross and a Blue-faced Leicester Shetland Cross. Just all of the beautiful fibres, spinning fibres, sheeps, and they're so sweet as well, and they cuddled me. I got to pet their faces. So that's what I've been doing today. I'm a little bit tired, so if I forget anything, also I'm on the beer because it's Saturday, it's the weekend. So cheers if you're drinking anything, tea, coffee. I'm on Hop House 19, which is like I think it's like Guinness. It's part of the Guinness family, but it's like a pale ale. I don't know. James buys the beer. I drink it. I'm fine with that. So today's going to be knitting, a lot of spinning actually, because it's Tour de Fleece, in case you didn't know. A lot of spinning. Let me get my show notes here. I've written my show notes again, guys. Thanks so much for the show note love last time. It made me feel really good. I know I kind of made you say nice things about them, but you know what? It worked. So thanks. Keep that up. Even better is clicking on the links and going through and seeing all the cool stuff, because they're so cool. So most of the, pretty much all the links, unless they're broken, should be clickable. And it's It's like they're like little doors behind which are glorious, colourful, useful things. Anyway, I've only had that little bit, but I may get more sleepy and incoherent as the podcast goes on. Lucky you. So I have got, yeah, so I've no finished objects. I'm just going to be talking about what I am working on knitting wise, which is only 2 things. Then I've got lots of spinning stuff, and then I've got a lot of events to talk about. So many events, guys. But first off, just one little piece of administration. In my previous video, just 72, episode 72, which was just came out, I announced the winner for this beautiful skein, my last skein of Tits Out Collective yarn, the first batch. Possibly the only batch I'm going to dye. I'm not sure about that. Cindy Spurgeon has not got back to me. Cindy, if you're watching this podcast, you won this yarn. You got to contact me. I cannot contact you because it's on YouTube. So you need to contact me. And I've put down in the show notes all the detail, all the places that you can send me. I've put down my email address if you want to email me, my Ravelry, Instagram. Get in contact with me, because otherwise I'll have to give this away next week to somebody else in the comments section of the previous video, of the giveaway section. Okay, and Cindy, I really want you to win it, get in contact with me, because it's gonna go. So if I haven't heard from you by the 21st of July, I'm gonna have to redraw, I'm afraid. So if you know Cindy Spurgeon, poke her, slap her in the face and say, you want some yarn, go get it. It's right here for you. So, yeah, so that's my main a bit of news. I also have been a bit lax in a couple of things, mainly updating you on the Epic Along. So in the last couple of days, I've managed to get on Ravelry and kind of catch up to myself on there. I have been putting on a couple of projects. I know that's very big of me. I am amazing. So I've been putting on a couple of projects on there, and I have been looking through the Epic Along thread. Oh my goodness, everybody is so impressive. So obviously I have not finished my jumper for James. So it is now extended from a 6-month cal to a 12-month cal. And maybe he might get it for Christmas. Maybe. But the cutoff date will definitely be we'll say the cutoff date is the 25th of December for Christmas. Just why not? We'll cancel that out, and then I will pull for the winner then around the week of New Year, and you'll get a little late Christmas present. That'll be nice. I haven't picked any giveaway prizes. So if anyone does want to donate anything towards the giveaway prize for the Epic Along thread, please do contact me. I'll be delighted to promote your work and to send that on to the winner. There'll be probably lots of winners because they're all so beautiful. I won't be able to stop your prizes. So yeah. So the Epic Along thread, if you don't know, it started out as a project that you feel is epic to yourself. It started out as knitting something huge for someone else, like a garment for your significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, partner, whatever. James is 6'8", so that's a lot of knitting, if you know what I mean. So that's why I called it an Epic Along. But we've kind of extended it out to using a large amount of yarn. I can't remember exactly the amount of yarn, but it's something like 1,200 to 1,600 meters of wool. But it's in all of the rules are in the Epic Along Ravelry thread. If you're interested, pop down there and have a little look. It's just down there. And you can have a look at the FO thread too and see some of the things. Oh, they're so beautiful. Some people are spinning spinning the yarn to make a sweater. Bernadine, I'm looking at you, you incredible human person. She finished it in like a month or something crazy. No, I think she started in January and then she finished it by April, which is still astonishing, so whatever. There are amazing things in there. There's a girl who's knitting this all over red cable jumper, and I'm like, oh my god, I want it so bad. It was rated a 5 on the difficulty scale on Ravelry. I was like, I pray for you, my child. So yeah, there's some incredible stuff going in there. I'm like, oh god, I've knit 2 belts. That's as far as I've gone. Anyway, oh sorry, everything's getting a bit hot and uncomfortable. I'm just gonna shuffle around some bits. Oh, it's a bit better. So yeah, if you are taking part, thank you so much. If you're interested, we still have like 5 months to go. So if you're interested in starting something, do it. Get involved, because I'll be giving away lots of lovely prizes. So excited. I've got a lot of pattern prizes to give away actually, and yeah, I might pop them in there for that. Yeah. So I have had one thing come through in the post. I just want to talk about it super quick because I was talking about the Tits Out yarn. If you don't know about the Tits Out Collective, pop over to the Countess Ablaze website and read the blog posts about it. Also, where have you been? What are you doing with yourself? Because it's everywhere. So my Tits Out Collective yarn arrived. It is Bear in Sheep's Clothing. Bernie, that's upside down, rude. This is Bear in Sheep's Clothing, and it is her 100% fine Falkland merino, and I got this because it's the same base as mine, so they're gonna go together. Isn't it so cute? I'm gonna make some sort of wild stripy shawl. Best friends. Oh, crap, sorry. And I just got a notification that I bought some beautiful rolags from Spindle and Stitches. Stitches and Spindles? Spindle and Stitches, I think. And so that's shipped, so you'll be able to see that soon too. So that is what I have bought recently, and it arrived. So lovely. Yeah, okay, so let's talk a little bit about what I've been knitting. I've been knitting on James's jumper, not the Feral one, the one that I'm designing from scratch. Because that seems totes reasonable, don't you think? Yeah. So I bought this wool from the Kerry woolen mills down in Killarney. Now, if anyone comes to visit Ireland, I will be doing a blog post or a vlog about my personal opinion on a nice way to spend a week or 2 weeks in Ireland. If you're interested in that, that will be one of the vlogs that I do. It will probably be just like telling you about it. I won't be taking you there because there's a lot of traveling. I don't have that time. But anyway, if you are going to Ireland, one of the places you probably will definitely go is the Ring of Kerry, and you start off the Ring of Kerry in Killarney. Well, or Tralee. Anyway, Killarney, you probably will end up there at some stage. In Killarney is the Aran Sweater Market, and just in the centre of town. And you can get these massive, massive chunks. This is 200 grams of Irish wool. Well, I don't know if it's really Irish, but pure new wool. I think a lot of it is Irish. Not scoured here. Sent abroad to be scoured and then sent back. So this is, it says light black. I'm like, it's a light grey. It's light grey, lot 2205. Pure new wool. It is a non-superwash. It still has quite a lot of the spinning oil in it. And it has this really beautiful kind of, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a lot of grey blend. It's got a little bit of darker yarn blended through the grey. It's beautiful. So it is super scrunchy. Rustic is the word for it. Rustic, rustic, rustic. But it is the traditional type of yarn used for Aran sweaters in Ireland, which is very historical. traditional, that's the word. So traditional fishermen sweaters in Ireland. And traditionally, it is known that the fishermen, every family had a specific pattern that their wives would knit onto their jumpers. So, jumper, for anyone who doesn't understand that word as being a pullover, jumper is a pullover in Ireland and the UK. Because I think it means like some sort of like pinafore dress, or it's a completely different garment in America. Whatever, America. Oh, your words. Anyway, we know what we mean. So I was swatching like a mad woman. This is the first swatch I did. And I did a little tag. So this is double moss stitch, and it came out so pretty on this yarn. It's very pretty. I love that. The stitch definition is quite, it's not like perfectly rounded. It does have a lot of, it's a little bit of a halo on it, if you can see there. But it does have a lovely look, like it is quite defined once it's up. Then I did, I made up this little chart just to show the idea of the center panel of the sweater. So this is, I needed half of it because I didn't want to go all the way across, because I was like, well, I'll figure it out. So this is the center panel of the jumper. So this part here is going to come out here. And oh yeah, so each different family had a different sweater pattern that the wives would knit for the fishermen. So if they were lost at sea, they could be identified by what jumpers they were wearing. Because after a while, if you're in the water, your body becomes, it's very morbid, but hey, Ireland is pretty morbid. But your body becomes a bit unrecognisable, just because of bloating and grossness. That's the way it is. So James's second name is Doherty, so his family crest has a stag in the middle. So I looked at the pattern on the irishsweatermarket.com page, and I didn't really like the stag that they had come up with. I just didn't fancy it. It was like three separates, completely separate. It wasn't a joined cable, and I really wanted a joined cable just for the crack. So I experimented with a couple of different cables. This was a nice one. It was kind of like an antler, kind of like antlers up the front, but James wanted, I kind of picked this one as it was kind of a bit more modern. It's kind of flat, angular, quite a modern cable. So he picked this for the center cable. Just imagine that's flipped, and I'm just added a simple twisted stitch cable either side of this 6-stitch cable, and then on the sides I just added in panels of this double moss stitch because I really liked the way it looked. So I measured James. He's 45 inches across his chest and tummy. So the gauge I was getting from the cables and from the moss stitch was 4 stitches per inch. So it's quite big yarn, you know, especially on the cables. So I cast on, I think it was 4.5 stitches per inch on the moss stitch, and then 4 for the cables. It worked out. Anyway, I allowed a little bit extra ease just because I don't want it too tight on him. I don't want it too big either, but it looks okay. It looks a bit small actually, if anything, but anyway. So I cast on, I knit those swatches on a 5mm needle. So I cast on 180 stitches, which is 4 times 44, 45. Is that right? I think, yeah, I cast on around 180 stitches. I knit the ribbing. So this is what I've got so far. This much. It's a belt. I've knit a belt. So I cast on the ribbing with a 3.5mm needle actually. I went down to a lot. I really wanted the ribbing to kind of pull in quite a lot. And I have just started the the cabling now. So I just have the front and back as equal, and it's going to, I'm not going to do any increases or decreases, just straight up, straight down. I've got these two marking the sides, and this one here, this beautiful little teacup. Oh, I know exactly who you are, but I can never remember your name, sent me these. She actually was going to send them to me from Canada, but then she actually turned out that she was visiting Ireland, so she sent them from Ireland instead, which is genius. I would totally do that if I were you, because Canada Post is expensive. So beautiful little teacup, saucer, and I've got a teacup and a mug to go with it as well. I'm so lucky. So yeah, so let me oh, actually I think it's inside out. So these orange markers are marking the center cable, which is just starting to form now. These parts is forming the accent side cables, and then this is the moss stitch that is coming up on either side. I've decided to do like a fake seam. I'm doing a pearl either side of the stitch marker on the side, just to kind of show a fake seam. Yeah, so I've decided just to do 2 purl stitches, so it kind of tucks in a little bit. And if the garment does need more structure, I might sew them together. I was watching Fruity Knitting podcast, and I saw Andrea doing that on her lovely piece of work, her lovely fitted cardigan that she just finished. Or actually, was it Andrew's? Anyway, if I need to give this garment a little bit more structure, I can actually, so this is the purl side here, so I can actually join this in and do a mattress stitch up the side, and just to give it, and also if it's too big, I'll be able to take it in like by 1/4 of an inch both sides. So yeah, just by mattress seaming. So all I want to do is knit on this. All I want to do. That's always a good sign, right? So I'm really happy with that. Now it's a bit big to be bringing to work, but I brought it the last 2 days because I was like, you know what, I know the pattern because I've designed it, so I know what it is. I hope. So that's nice. I decided against casting on another garment for myself because I knew that James's jumper just would not get done because I'd get obsessed with my own one. So guess what, guys? Bullying works. I'm working on James's jumper. It's not the original jumper because I don't fancy working with that one, but I'm really excited about this cable, this Aran cable jumper. I don't know if it will have sleeves yet. I have no idea how I'm going to do the top, if it's going to be a drop sleeve, set-in sleeve, or raglan. I don't know. We will cross that bridge when we come to it, is my motto today. Hooray! So, I also want to show you this beautiful bag. I've been knitting, this is what I brought it to work in the last couple of days. This is the lovely Kira's Emerald Fibers bag. Emerald Fibers. She makes these gorgeous box bags. They're made of really sturdy canvas on the inside and outside. And then she machine embroiders these beautiful symbols. I love this compass symbol. It just, I love the clouds as well. It just reminds me that, you know, the world is such a big place, and there's so many places left to go. And it reminds me of all the places I've been as well. I don't know, is it weird that bad makes me feel like that? No! I like to tell myself, see, bullying, it works. Kids know that's not true. Bullying does not work. Don't bully. Oh crap. So she's got this lovely cable, and I really like this handle. Ugh, it's brilliant. And comfy drawstring. I've got to thank Ciara as well for convincing me to go up and vend at Yarn Folk Festival in Belfast, just outside Belfast in Whitehead. It's a little village kind of almost on the coast. I've not been up there yet, so I'll tell you more when I'm there. So that's on the 4th of August. If you want to buy some of my yarns, you can do that if you like up there, and you can buy loads of people's. And Ciara's going to be there with her beautiful bags. Oh, and she's got beautiful kind of This Is Knit inspired bags in This Is Knit at the moment with the halfpenny bridge. It's so pretty. Oh my god, it's the prettiest. Anyway, so I love, this is my favorite bit. No, it's all my favorite bit, but she's got this little clasps, and I have all of my handy dandy stitch markers on here. Genius. She's got 2 big pockets, actually 4 big pockets on either side for things, you know, things, stitches and scissors and, oh, my markers. That's for my job. I'm a radiographer. This is for lefts and rights, so we don't chop off the wrong leg. Very important. Now, oh, that is really handy. I found that. I was looking for that. So that is Jump for James. Yay, bullying works! Ah! So that's been what I've been kind of sitting down in the evening and doing. Oh, I was working on these socks. These are my Peaky Cat socks by Marna Gilligan, who is also known as An Coitín Beag. She is a knitwear designer and a jewellery maker, mostly knitting jewellery, which is fab. So these are the Peaky Cat socks. And they are made for Mary Jane shoes, so you can have little kitties peeking their little faces out of your shoe. This is what is known as a sinister cat. Copyrighted probably. So I have been working through it's so easy. So this pattern is really nice. You've got the chart in the back. And I'm just working off the chart, to be honest. It's got lots of instructions for the whole thing. It tells you which heel to do. She tells you instructions for it is a DK weight sock, so they're going to be really cozy, comfy winter socks. And they're fast. They're super fast. So it shows you how to do the heel and the toe and all the rest of it. So that's great. So yeah. Oh, these are also the sinister cats. Sinister cats, sinister cats. Cool. So I bought the kit. So it came in the bag, which I still haven't coloured in. I need some fabric pens. It comes with stitch markers in her little tins. Grello Get Your Knit On tins. And these little stitch markers, which she makes 2. These are Evil Kitties. They remind me of the Mrs. Umbridge or Professor Umbridge cats, you know, the ones in the weird porcelain decoration. So creepy. And then there's happy little Japanese cats. So cute. Oh, sorry. I'm in the wrong place. So cute. Look at his little happy face. You can't see that. But they're really cute. Thank you, Myrna. She gave me an extra set because I love her. Treats. Then, oh yes, so I am working with Socks Yeah DK Coop Knits. I'm working with the Tartarus colorway, the Aeacus colorway, and the Anemoi colorway. Talk about difficult names. So this is 75% 25 superwash merino nylon. Nom 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 nom. And it is DK weight. So this is and she sells these on her, I think she sells the kits on her website. So this is, I don't know which color is which. I've taken all the things off. So these are my colors. Now the sock is inside out. I am knitting my sock inside out. This is to increase my tension, decrease my tension. So is to make sure I have a looser tension. So when I'm knitting, so I'm not technically knitting inside out. I have turned the thing so that the stockinette is on the inside of the sock. And I am just knitting on the opposite side. I'm not knitting on the close side of the needle, I'm knitting away from me. So if I was to knit right here, you might see what I'm doing. I have no idea what the pattern says. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, okay. Oh wait. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I'm on the Colourworks sole now. But I am working two-handed. And I like to do it this way. And my floats are coming around the outside. They just have a minimally closer, a little bit of a closer, sorry, Beans wants to go out. Bye, Beans. They just have a teeny bit extra distance to go. So you just get a little bit more of a stretch on the sock. Just a tiny bit. Makes a difference, so I've heard. So I am knitting two-handed. This is the way I like to knit my colourwork. I like to catch my floats every every second stitch. And I just find it's easy when you are working with, say, if you see here, I don't know if you can see, but every fourth stitch is a blue stitch. So I like to have the yarn that I'm least using in my left hand. And then when I come to a stitch, when I come to the second stitch of the grey, I am bringing it, I don't know if you can see this at all, I am bringing this underneath. You see that? The blue yarn is in between the two needles. I'm going around as if to knit normally and bringing that back. So that is now caught. So that's my float caught. So every second stitch I catch my floats. Yeah! If there's only 2 stitches, I don't bother. But if there's 3 stitches, I catch the second stitch. And it means I have a really tight, or not tight, but tidy, tidy floats, especially in socks. I don't want long floats when I'm going in there. So let me turn it inside out so you can see what it looks like. It's like giving birth. I bet it's not. I've never given birth, so. Here it is. Oh my gosh, this is the first time I've actually turned this inside out since I started working on Kitty Face. So this is my sock. Oh, it's so cute. These are my little kitty faces up here. Some of them are longer than others because I don't know when to stop knitting. That's my little heel. I love the way that heel came out. And this is my kitty. So you start your colour work here. You've got your sole pattern, which is super nifty. And that's kind of just to keep it nice and patterned underneath it. Yeah, I can't wait to block this so I can see what's happening. And then this is little kitty face. Little kitty face. So I'm nearly at the stage now where I'm going to turn to this bright chartreusey green to do the toe. And then I'm going to weigh everything and see how much yarn I have left. Because the leg on this is a little bit longer than the original pattern. Because yet again, I can't figure out when to stop knitting. Eek. Yeah, so yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been working on, my little sock. The big problem is that I have only knit one sock. Second sock syndrome, but they're so cute. I must do the thing where I just cast on the other one immediately and just do it. Just do it. Putting this all away. Peaky cat socks, now available on Ravelry. So that is my 2 knitting projects. 34 minutes. Oh my gosh, I'm getting slow, man. Now, just a little bit of wet my whistle. Oh, fudge. So So that is that. So I've been spinning. I have a tale of woe. And then a tale of, wow, I did that really fast. So that was good. So my tale of woe. So I have a special colorway, which I have been dyeing. It was the Guild colorway, my interpretation of the Irish Guild of Weavers, Spinners and Dyers colorway. It was blues and greens and yellows. I have one here actually. There are a few still for sale in the shop. So it's quite bright, quite tealy. This is the Corradale. I've got 3 different bases, Corradale, Merino and Polworth. So I'm working with the Polworth at the moment, which is here. This big bundle of goodness. So I had taken the Polworth and I was obsessed with Rolegs at the time a couple of weeks ago. So I took some of the Polworth and hand carded them into Rolegs. Now Polworth, it doesn't really suit itself to Rolegs, or maybe I just wasn't doing it right. I don't have a blending board, so I couldn't like roll it really tight. I was just doing it off my hand cards. So so the fibre was quite long, but I was spinning it woolen, and I wanted to spin it woolen. Actually, I just did it just to see what it was like, but I formed a little bit of a plan from doing that. So I spun it woolen, which means that all the fibres are not perfectly aligned, that the yarn is kind of fluffy and airy, and I wanted to spin thicker than I have been spinning. I have been kind of slowly going finer and finer and finer and finer, and I kind of wanted to stop that a little bit because I want to start doing sweater spins. And for sweater spins you need, well, the larger the diameter of the yarn, the quicker you need up a sweater. So I wanted to make a nice cozy sweater, and I love these colors so damn much. So these are my first 2 bobbins of my Rolag spun woolen yarn. So this is my first try. So they are not super, like the color changes with every Rolag, and every Rolag was slightly different version of a teal and a green. So it didn't really, the changes weren't as kind of quick and dirty as my last, as every other skein I've ever actually spun, apart from just the pure white ones. So it was really interesting. So I kind of fancied, I was like, ooh, this is going to kind of stripe quite a lot. I'm not sure if I wanted it to stripe. So I spun these 2 bobbins. This is 100 grams of Polworth in the Irish Guild of Weavers, Spinners and Dyers colorway. And I was like, I've got 3 braids. I think there's one more in the shop as well. So yes, what shall I do? I kind of didn't super enjoy spinning with the Polworth. What's the word? I didn't really enjoy spinning with the Polworth, the Rolags, because they were just a bit floppy, and the fibres, the staple is too long. It's not suited to that. So I decided, do you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to do something else completely. I am going to just spin straight from the top. So I got a second skein and I spun kind of thick. It's kind of thick and thin, which I actually really, I wanted a thicker, more thick and thin yarn, just to give a bit of interest to the garment whenever I'm going to make it. So this is a very full bobbin, in case you haven't noticed. So I think what I'm going to do, just so they're not super different, is I'm going to ply this with these 2. So I'll end up with 1 ply worsted and 1 ply woolen. But, you know, it's an idea. I probably will need to I'll need a lot more. Now I have quite a lot of the colorway. I do have quite a lot of it. My issue is I don't have that many bobbins. So I could just wind everything off onto, because they say you should spin all of your singles first and then ply everything together. But I'm kind of getting bored and I'm spinning them all differently, which is not the way to do it. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do with this. Anyway, so let's talk about a little bit about the disaster that happened. So I was finishing off this bobbin. I was almost finished. And then I looked down at the wheel and it started going quite slowly. I was like, what is going on? I looked down at the wheel. Now I have an Ashford traditional. It's an Ashford Traveller. My Ashford Traveller is kind of a castle construction. So you've got your footman, it's a double treadle footman. You've got your big wheel. You've got your flyer and bobbin on top. Your all of your business up here. That's where you're working. Now in front of, on the bar that holds the wheel in place, you've got 3 different spokes, and it's effectively a lazy Kate built into it. So you can pop your bobbins that you're not using onto these 3 spikes. Now the axle of the wheel is remarkably close to this bobbin holder business. And this was a full bobbin. Well, no, it was straight. This little dip was not here. So what had Grace done? Grace had put her bobbin there, and you see this tail here? It's just ever so carefully laid across the axle of the spinning wheel. And the spinning wheel started turning and turning and turning and turning and turning. Anyway, I only noticed, it was dark, we were watching some god-awful film. We love watching cheesy awful films. What did we watch? Battleship. I mean, we'd got half an hour into this movie and James was throwing a hissy fit because there was no explosions, and there was many explosions promised, and I was like, just wait, James, just wait. I actually got a headache by the end of that film just from rolling my eyes so much. We love those crappy films. They're so good. Anyway, whatever. So I was really getting into it. I was not paying attention. I was trying to spin thicker, so I was like, and I kind of wanted to just spin thick and thin, and a little bit of art yarn maybe. I'm not, I wasn't really too fussed about consistency or anything like that. So I was spinning away, having a great time, and then the spinning wheel started slowing down. And you know why it was slowing down? Because this was all wrapped around the center axle. The wheel, normally the center axle has about maybe this much space. There was this much space. It had actually shoved the wheel back against the bearing at the back. So I was trying to like cut it. I was so angry. Lights were on, film was off. I was like, I had to take the wheel apart. I had to take the wheel apart to get this out. And of course I'd already cut it all, so none of it was usable. So I don't know how many yards that is, but it feels significant. So sad. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, that was my sad tale. But all it needed was just one of the large pillars holding the axle, holding the wheel through. I just took off the front one. It just screwed off really easily, and it just came apart, and then I just put it back together again. Just an Allen key, really easy to fix. But just so annoying, right? But yeah, but I've got plenty of fiber, so I'm not worried. So yeah, so then I started spinning away on this. Then I spent about 2 days. 2 days of spinning, one evening, and then I think I finished it in the morning. I was working at 12 on Friday, so I finished this off on Friday morning, which was a lovely way to spend the morning. But then I realized that I had 2 more bobbins, but there was both stuff on them, like quite a lot of stuff really. So I unwound what was on there. Now, I'm not sure what this is, but I have a feeling it's part of my original merino Australian merino that I had. Now I still have a lot of Australian merino that has been washed and packed away and shipped back to myself, just sitting in there. Awkward. But now I know how easy it is to prep other fleeces. I'm like, God, that merino is so hard. It's just so sticky and the fiber's so fine and it's short and anyway, so this was a little piece of the merino, and I had one more bobbin full of this black merino, which is super sticky. You can see, look, it's actually, look at that hole. I know you can't see me. Oh, so that is like, it's really, really still very, very greasy, but it is beautiful stuff. I have, this is what I made the back piece and the warp thread of my gradient kimono out of. So this is it woven up, hand spun, hand woven. So that's the rest of it, which is quite a significant amount. I also have a ton of it as well. I think I have a couple of ball, or one ball anyway, at least, a fairly hefty sized ball of some merino, some black merino. So I'm going to keep those. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I might do like a woven project. I'm not sure. So I cleared up 2 bobbins and they are now on the wheel ready for the next go. So I have to keep, I have 5, I found out I've got 5 bobbins total. Normally what I've been doing with spinning is I've just been using 3, you know, spinning onto one, spinning onto another, and then plying onto a third. And I thought I was fine with just 3, but I'm realizing that I do need to get more. Oh no. And of course, I was watching Tiny Fiber Studio, and she was talking about AT RHEINBECK bobbins. I desperately want some. They make them for Ashford. They make them for double drive. I have a double drive Ashford, so they make bobbins for that. They're about $32 each. But if I want sweater spins, I was watching Jenny from, I can't remember what they're called now. Handmade in Woollen they were called, and then I think they've changed again their name. She used to be Tiny Paper Foxes. But anyway, she was doing a sweater spin, and she said that you should spin all of your singles first and then ply them together. And I'm like, I don't have enough bobbins for that business. I think I might have to buy some more bobbins. I mean, what I could do is do like a sample card. And to be honest, I'm doing all these differently anyway. Oh God, I don't know. I'm just spinning. And if I just knit with it, it's gonna be fine, right? Yeah. So, and I just love all these colors. What I really want to do, and I'm really interested in doing, is plying this kind of roll-out blended, more blended color. So the color is much more blended together. It's not as variegated, it's all more tonal. I want to blend it with this, so you can see here that the color repeats are a lot shorter. It's kind of more spread out, so that you'll get like a couple of, if I'm knitting it, you'll get like maybe 10 stitches in green, 10 stitches white, 10 stitches blue. You know, it's variegated, whereas this one would be kind of tonal stripes. Beans, what? What's wrong with you? He's meowing. Meowing. He's moaning and meowing. I love it. Anyway, so I really actually want to ply these together to see what type of fibre comes out. I'm kind of obsessed with barber poling, but I think these are close enough to not give like crazy ugly barber poling, if you know what I mean. I'm just really curious to see how this is going to work out. Do I ply now? I really desperately want to ply. Do you know when you finish bobbins? I don't know if you're a spinner, but if you finish a bobbin and you've got 2 bobbins ready to go to be plied, oh, it's so hard not to ply straight away. So I'm like, oh, There's no point to me doing a sample card because everything's different anyway. I'm not paying attention. I just spin. If I just try and do it the same way all the time, then okay, sure. I'm not super technical when it comes to spinning. I think I'm getting better. I know what I'm supposed to do, but I just don't do it, if you know what I mean. That's okay. I'm the one wearing it. I'm the one judging it. I'm not putting it in for any shows or anything. There are no shows around here. People don't know what... Maybe I can be a judge. That'd be the worst. I'd be like, so soft, so pretty. Tell me a story. Oh my God, you win. Oh my God, your lamb was an orphan lamb and you saved him. Oh my God, you win all the prizes. I'd be useless. Anyway, so I do have some of the yarn still in the shop, and the links to the shop are down below. So this is the Caradale, which is the Caradale picked up the yellows a little bit more, and there's a little bit more brightness in it. So the Polworth, I think there's one Polworth left. It's a lot more blue and turquoise. And then this is the Merino, which is super soft, and this is a lot more blue. The Polworth and the Merino are very close together. But it's really interesting seeing how different breeds take dye. Yeah, so I love them. Yeah, there's I think there's maybe one or two. I think there's a couple of the Caradale still in the shop, and then there's maybe one Polworth and maybe two Merino. Have a look on the shop and see what's there. By the time I get around to it, they could be gone. Oh, sorry if they are. Yeah, so that is my spinning. Oh, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about remember last week I told you that I bought a spindle off of Johnny Shields. Did I show it to you or did I not? So it is a hand-turned spindle off of Johnny Shields. And I'm spinning some Romney that I drum carded. It's looking very worse for wear now, but it's coming out so nice. So I desperately want to buy a Johnny Shields wheel from Johnny. I want one so bad. I'm like, what can I save money for? Can I call it a business expense? I'm like, no, Grace. You need to buy yarn and dye. You have no money from that. I'm like, but I want it. Oh, I was actually spinning the other way, was I? That's weird. Anyway. Yes, so this is a spindle from Johnny Shields. Super excited about it. Johnny Shields is the only Irish wheelwright. So I think it's really important to support him, and hopefully I'm going to go up and see him pretty soon. Donegal is such a beautiful place to visit. If you are visiting Ireland and you are going up north, there's a couple of amazing places that you should definitely stop in and see. Johnny Shields is definitely one of them. That way? Nope. Not that way. I can't remember. So my friend Liz, who is she is Spin Me a Yarn on Facebook and on Instagram. She has a hero drum carder from, oh sorry, you dropped there. Let me put you back up there. She has a hero drum carder from Woolmakers Bliss, which is a sister company of Louette. And she has just recently got a larger drum carder, so I borrowed the hero from her. There's two sizes of the drum carder, the hero and then the bigger one. The hero is a small one. It has about this wide. Very neat, very tidy, very affordable for a drum carder. Drum carders are very expensive. So I decided to drum card some yarn, which I had. So I had drum carded a bat or two of Romney at my friend Valerie's alpaca farm, and so this is the drum card that came off. It's my Romney. It was a little bit grey because the drum carder was a little bit dirty. She has alpacas, so the alpaca is quite dusty, or actually I'm not sure if it was because the alpaca or because the actual the blender board was a bit dirty or new maybe, but it kind of came off a bit grey, but it's fine because it washes up, totes fine. So I still have quite a lot. Actually, this is the only bit of the Romney that I have left now, because I have drum carded pretty much all of it. But that's all I have left of the Romney fleece that I swinted last summer. I tried another swint this year and it didn't go quite as well. I'll talk about that in a second. But this is the Romney fleece. This is a Romney fleece from County Clare or Galway. But Sandra, who is Meet the Wool, who I'm doing the dyed course, she Rob the Romney farmer. He's our source of Romney, which is great. So this year I got another Romney fleece for €8, a whole fleece, a whole bag of fleece, like. So I'm going to try another swint because the swint worked so well on these. So there's still a little bit of grease in there, but it's just so much cleaner than it was. And I brushed out the Romney and I put it into the Hero drum carder and I came up with this pretty thing. So it comes out kind of small enough. Oh yeah, there's two actually. Okay, so this one, I brushed everything out and then I put so these are the longest threads, the longest fibers went into this, this bat. So it comes out like a sliver. It's like a top. It's a really, really lovely size and really quite neat. It comes in the box ready. You just pull it out, clamp it onto a surface and just card away. But it's lovely, all prepared, ready to go. You can see the stripes of the teeth there on the inside. So this was put through 3 times. And I didn't want to put it through any more because I didn't want neps to start forming. I didn't want the fibers to be like, I tried to put it all in the same way, but I didn't want it to be caught and little nips and tweedy bits. Beans, what? What are you meowing at? You want to go outside? You want to go outside? Do you want to say hi? Oh, you're so stretchy. Just say hi real quick. Just say hi real quick. Whoa. He's shedding like a madman at the moment, so I'm keeping him away from the wool. Huh? Say hi to your people. Hi. Oh, he's so pretty. Oh. When will you stop being pretty? Never? Never? He's just like dazed and confused. Okay, go. I'll just let him out. He's just gonna keep moving. And outside is fun and good for you. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. So I have to cut all that out. Not the beans bit, the walking bit. Ugh, pain in the bum. So yeah. So I had. So this is the longest fibers that went through. They if you can, I don't know if you can see, but if the light shines through, you can see there's some little, the little neps are starting to form. So I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. I think that's going to be fine. So then I just round it up into a little donut cake and pop it in there. So cute, ready to spin. Now, when I was brushing out the locks before putting them into the Hero, I have a little flicker, and I was brushing them out, and then there was quite a lot left. There was quite a lot of waste, so I just put that through the drum carder as well, and I got this. So this is I put this through twice. It was already brushed, So this has a little bit of VM. But I mean, I'm sure it's going to be fine to spin woolen. So yeah, this one will be a little bit tweedy nips, but you know, it can just be something. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time. And I really didn't want to waste it because it's a lot, like it's a lot of wool. And I had washed it and prepared it and done all this business, so. Who was that? Hello? So that's the difference. So that's the longest fibres, and then that's kind of the seconds that went through. Yes. They're just so cute. So then I started looking at some Wensleydale, or not Wensleydale, BFL. So I got some BFL from a shearer when we went to Woolapalooza. They were shearing some beautiful BFL. And I got some BFL. I put it through the swint. The swint turned very grey and dark, and I was a bit like, oh, that's not what I wanted. It turned black actually. And then when I kind of took it out, I think BFL is just too greasy or dirty. I'm not sure. A lot of people I've spoken to have said that it is very difficult to clean BFL, which is why we need a scouring facilities in Ireland. Please, someone, please, 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 someone with more money and time and effort than me. Yeah, so anyway, I put this through the Drumcarder. I brushed out a couple of the locks and I put this through, and I got this little fluffy masterpiece. I can't wait to spin this up and then wash it and see if it comes up any whiter than this. Now I have a little skein that I washed and spun at the, James, he always does this. He either rings me during the podcast or he walks past and distracts me. He just really wants to be in the podcast, but he can't be. So I believe these are the same thing, but this is after swinting, so it's grey. I don't know what happened. And then this is kind of like this is the grease in it. So I'm going to spin this one. Oh, but it's so cute. It's like a little nautilus shell. Oh, it's so soft and fluffy. And the fibres are so long. And they have this really tight crimp. So this is that's how long they are. They're really, really, really nice. Yeah, so I'm going to spin this up and then we'll wash them together. And this one hasn't been washed. It's been plied, but it's not been washed. This is like a little demo, little mini skein. So we'll see what the difference is. That'll be an interesting little experiment. So this has been lots of spinning, guys. I do want to talk about a couple of events which are happening. I have spoken already about Yarn Folk. I'm really excited to go to that. That's going to be wonderful. Tour de Fleece is happening, so all of my stuff that I'm kind of discovering, all of my fibre prep, all of that sort of stuff, I'm talking about it over on the Ravelry group for the Irish Guild of Weavers, Spinners and Dyers. If you want to join us, you can pop over there and have a little chat. We are discussing the Project Baba. I put up a video of Project Baba, and there was a lot of sheep there which were like spray painted orange. And the wonderful Ellie of the Dalton Border Leicester flock farm and yarn supplier, she came out. I like tagged her. I was like, what's going on? Why are they so orange? And she said that basically it's to show off the sheep. It's like sheep makeup. And that some farmers they put it on there to show up. And I guess it's kind of like, I heard another person say it's to like show off the head. So they spray paint she was saying that the body or the skin of some of the sheep are actually like a natural grey. So if you spray paint it orange, it shows up weirdly. Anyway, she doesn't like when they do it. I don't like when they do it, but to be honest, I think they only do it for meat breeds because they don't care about the fleece. So yeah, I think it's like some sort of weird like spray paint body oil for showing off. You know, like the bodybuilders have the fake tan and the oil to like show off their muscles. I think it's something to do with that. So thanks so much for that, Ellie. That's really great. Yeah, so we're just having chats about everything really, over on the Irish Guild of Weavers, Spinners and Dyers group. So that's really nice. Yes, so upcoming with the yes, with the guild, I am going to be at Dublin Maker on the 21st of July, which is next Saturday. Today is the 14th of July. So next Saturday I'm going to be at Dublin Maker. And then that's Saturday. And then Sunday, the guild has also been invited to a fabulous event run by Mount Briscoe Farm. It's an organic farm in Offaly. It is going to be, it's called the Rare and Traditional Breeds Show, and I'm going to pop the links down there. So if you're in the Midlands at all at the weekends, it's going to be a show concentrating on rare and traditional breeds of Ireland, which it's going to be about sheep and cows and horses, I think. But they've been invited us to spin up there, so I'm really excited to go up. And so I'm going to go to Dublin, stay at my aunt's relatives, someone's house. I haven't even asked them yet. Hey, if you're in Dublin and you have a bed, can I stay with you next weekend? That'd be great. Honestly, seriously, I just need a place to lay my head. And then I'm going to drive down through Offaly and demonstrate at that show for a couple of hours. I think it's like 9 to 5, but I'll probably be there from 10 until 4 or whenever. And then I'm going to drive home, and then I've got to work the next day. But I'm really excited. We were invited to go from someone who saw the guild at Baba, so it's really, really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. So that is the events that I'm going to, and then Yarn Folk on the 4th of August, which is like not the next weekend, the weekend after. Yeah, I'm very busy the next 4 weekends. September I need to take off. I think I can't do that much anyway. We'll see. Oh, there's still Perth. I haven't decided. I don't think I can manage it, guys. It's just too much. There's so much going on in Ireland, which is so exciting. Yeah, so then there is an event that I haven't been speaking about enough, and there's just so many events. Oh, I'm over an hour already. I'm sorry, but there's so much to tell you guys. So I will not be able to make it to Rhinebeck this year, and so will, to be honest, the majority of knitters. Okay, not everyone goes to Rhinebeck, and that is the name of the online festival that we have set up. Now, I say we in a very loose term. I agreed saying, yeah, I'll do it, and then I went completely radio silent because I had a million other things to do. But I am going to be taking part in the Not Everyone Goes to Rhinebeck festival, virtual festival. So it was originally the brainchild of Natalie Sheldon of Remembrances Pottery. And she is a fabulous human being. She has got a load of vendors taking part. You can see the full list of all the vendors taking part on, I've popped it down below, but it is on Anne Tudor's website. So you can see a full rundown of who's taking part, if there's someone near you. We're going to be running sales and promotions. We're going to be running virtual podcast lounges for podcasters, for people who can't get there on, I think the platform is probably going to be Zoom. And then we're also going to be holding a number of knit-alongs. So the main one, actually I think we're only holding one. The main one is, so knit your Rhinebeck sweater, except knit your not Rhinebeck sweater. So it is a sweater cal that started on July the 1st and it's to November 1st. So, and the hashtag is not Rhinebeck sweater cal, or not Rhinebeck sweater whip, not Rhinebeck sweater FO. I think it's going to be so much fun because like there's loads of reasons why you can't get to a place. You've done too much, it's too far away, it's too expensive, you physically can't get there because of physical disabilities or mental disabilities or various reasons. There's loads of different reasons why you can't, but there's no reason why you can't join ours and kind of join in the kind of, I've got to stop saying kind of, in the international community of knitters who would like to go but can't. So we're all going to be having special updates over the weekend of Rhieinbeck. Mars from, actually I'm just going to go on and just list off who is going to be there, because that'll be amazing. So obviously I'm going to be there. Remembrance's Pottery, the gorgeous mugs, going to be there. Hawari Bazaar, Corinne, she's going to be doing it. Mon Sheep Shop, Cindy, the wonderful Cindy. Oh my gosh. Tiny Human Knits. Oh yes, so the sweater cowl is going to be run on the Tiny Human Knits podcast Ravelry page, and that link is going to be down below as well. So Stitch and You Bags. Oh, myself, Maker's Merch. Who is it is the brainchild of Mars from Hey Brown Berry and Celtic Cast On, Kelly from Celtic Cast On. Beautiful pins. I've got her the member pin. It's somewhere else. Ninja Chickens, Maria, her sock blanks and eco dyed things. Oh my god, so amazing. Mars, of course, from Dynamix Yarns. Mars and her daughter Adachi, I think. Cozy Posy Yarns. Oh, they look so pretty. Patricia P4 Chen Photography, she's going to be taking part as well. Jenny from Lone Larch. Oh Jenny, I'm so happy that your back is feeling much better and you're up and about. Thank God, I was really worried. And Mrs. Brown's Bags. Oh my god, I didn't know Mrs. Brown's Bags was in there. From Jodie and Tracy, right? That's Grocery Girls, right? Right? So that is so exciting. I hope you'll enjoy. And of course Anne Tudor as well herself, who makes beautiful glass beads, artisan glass stitch markers. Yeah, so that is the Not at Rhieinbeck knit along virtual festival. So I think it's going to be really exciting. I think not everyone can go, but it's nice to mark occasions when you know, that are special, because Rhieinbeck is really special for the knitting community. It's like the Mecca. But you know, we can mark Rhieinbeck in our own hearts wherever we are. Oh, one day more. Is that Les Mis? I don't know. Anyway. Oh my goodness, my throat is dry. I am shattered. I think that means I'm finished the podcast. So. Tomorrow is going to be a lovely day. We're going to head back up and I'm so excited to show you the video that I'm going to be doing for Sandra and showing you all about natural dyeing. I hope that I am going to be able to have some naturally dyed products in my shop next time, sometime. I think I've realized that, here's some introspection, okay? I think I've realized that what I need to do is slow down a bit when it comes to the shop, and make sure that I can grow sustainably. So there's a podcast that I've started listening to, which I cannot remember what it's called. I think it might be called Slow Growth Podcast, or it's all about slow marketing. Oh God. No, I've just put in slow growth podcast marketing and it's like 5 powerful ways to grow your podcast audience and top strategies and embrace your advertisers. Oh no. Anyway, I will put the details down below. It is a fabulous new podcast that has just started, all about ways to sustainably grow and market your creative business. It is run by a woman. I can't remember her name. I was listening to it today, but I can't remember. Do you know when people only introduce themselves at the start of the podcast and I don't catch it? So she is a mum. I think she's a mum, and she's living in the mountains of Wales, the Welsh mountains, and she has a huge background in marketing, and she is kind of sharing her experience and tips and tricks. Not tips and tricks. It's more of a kind of an overall aspect of what marketing is. It's not a scary thing. I realized I was kind of doing it without even realizing what I was doing. Marketing is actually just talking to people. That's what it is. It's talking to people. It's getting out there and saying, hi, what do you do? I do this. You know, it's not, it's not like a crazy magic thing that some people have the knack of. Although some people find talking to people really quite difficult, so maybe it is a crazy magic thing that some people have the knack of. I think I've got too much, so I'm gonna go. But yeah, it is a fantastic podcast. I really recommend you listening to it if you are interested in growing your podcast sustainably and slowly. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me today. I'm super sorry that it's so long. I feel like when it goes over an hour, people are like, so much listening, but I had so much to talk to you about. Hopefully I can cut it down a little bit with Bean's introductions. But he's so cute. He's going to be the main attraction. Maybe I should put him at the start. Okay guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.